Hello, this is Pastor Lauren Richmond, East Denver Bible Baptist Church. Welcome to our broadcast, Lead Me to the Rock. We're talking about Framed and Forgotten. We'll be teaching some lessons on Joseph this week. Tonight we're just going to take the verse Romans 8:28. It says, we know that all things work together for good to them that are called according. I'm struggling with that memory tonight, so let me look at it. Romans 8:28. As soon as I get the Bible open to the right verse. We knew that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. Joseph is framed and forgotten, and oftentimes there are certain things that take place in our lives that we don't really understand, that we can't imagine why they happen. We certainly began to question God, why would you allow this to happen? I'm working for you. And I recall in August of 1978, had just become the youth pastor at Queens Bible Baptist Church. It was my first day of bus visitation. I'm driving with my 1974 Ford Econoline van and was going into Whitestone, Queens to make some bus visits and driving through an area that I wasn't familiar with, and I went through a light that was out, and then another light was blocked by tree branches, and I didn't see it, and had an accident in the intersection. And I certainly didn't understand why that could have happened on my very first day of going out and working for the Lord on bus visitation. And so I remember that I went over to check on this car where the guy had been injured, and he reached out and grabbed me around the tie with his bloody arm and got blood stains all over my brand new jacket, so I wasn't really pleased with that. But, I just questioned, why in the world did this happen? Of course, did not know the answer to that at that particular time, and nothing happened for a while. And later on, we went to Woodbridge, Virginia to work as a youth pastor. We had been made all sorts of promises working in the Christian school, and of course, we got down there and found out the church was in bankruptcy, and none of those things that had been promised to us were going to happen. And God used that particular time to prepare me to go back to New York City, and I had no way of getting back there. And I remember teaching in the Christian school on I think it was a Tuesday afternoon, seems like vivid in my mind, and the pastor's wife came to the door and said, "You've got a phone call from Mr. Levine in New York City." I had no idea who that was, and he was an attorney for Allstate, my insurance company. He said, "Remember that accident you had 2.5 years ago?" I said, "Yeah, I remember." "Well, it comes up in court tomorrow. You need to be back in New York City tonight." Basically 4 hours from the time he was talking to me. I said, "I don't have any way to get there." "Well, just get on a plane. We'll take care of it." So that's what I did. And, God used that situation to be settled out of court with no guilt found. And as a result of that, I was able to realize that God had taken me back just to prepare me to go back to New York City and pastor the church I'd been the youth pastor in. And so God just did a wonderful thing there. I had no idea that was coming. I didn't know why the original accident happened, but God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think. He knows exactly what he's doing, and his time frame is always on time. God bless you, and have a wonderful night.